This is for a minor modification. Laws had directed the data which was submitted before this honorable court by 2 orders in the sealed envelope. Because the impression perhaps was that one of the copy of that data is with commission, but which
presume that you would have retained a copy of what you had submitted in the court.
It was supposed to be in sealed cover, taking the information from the political party. So we just submitted as it is. We got not. So the entire data is with this honorable court.
So what we could do is we will ask our office to scan and digitize the data which has been submitted to us. That might just take a day or so, I think, because they'll start doing it immediately.
That can be postponed whether they're putting it up on the website then.
We'll say that as soon as the data which is available with us is scanned and digitized, that will be handed over to the originals will be returned to the Election Commission. And they will then immediately upload.
That's fair enough.
That's no like your lordships indicated also on the last occasion.
Now, just one thing, who's appearing for the State Bank of India? Because in our judgment, we had directed disclosure specifically of all details of the bonds, including the purchaser, the amount, and the date of purchase. They have not disclosed the bond numbers because that had to be disclosed by the State Bank of India. Because if you see our judgment,
Chip's judgment is quite clear on that. All details.
So all details have to be furnished by the State Bank of India.
I am for the government.
And they had said in their own application that they have the bond numbers, etc. But they said that they were in 2 different silos.
That's right.
The SBI's application for extension was on the ground.
SBI is not a party. They were here because they moved an application.
Anyway, if they disclose the bond number, we have no problem with it.
Lordships may issue notice to SBI, Manoj.
Yes.
My lord, may I mention, my lord?
Lordships may issue notice to SBI, Manoj.
No, there's no.
I'm requesting the honorable court.
An application has been filed by the Election Commission of India seeking further directions. In the judgment, in the order of this court dated, what is it?
11th of March.
11 March 2024. This court had directed that the Election Commission of India, that ECI, shall upload on its website the data which was furnished to this court and which was being maintained in the custody of this court. While issuing this direction, the court had presumed that a copy of the data which was lodged before this court, before the registry of this court, would be available with the ECI. Mr. Amit Sharma, learned counsel appearing on behalf of ECI, states that as a matter of fact, ECI did not retain any copy of the data which was collated by it, since it was being placed before this court in sealed custody. The request, therefore, of the ECI is that the data which has been filed in this court may be returned to it, so as to enable it to comply with the order of this court for uploading all the documents. This request of the ECI has not been opposed either by Mr. Kapil Sibal or the senior counsel or Mr. Prashant Bhushan, the counsel. Mr. Vijay Hansaya will dissolve. We accordingly issue the following directions. Bracket 1. The Registrar Judicial of this court shall ensure that the data which has been filed by ECI in pursuance of the interim orders of this court is scanned and digitized. Upon the process being complete, this may be preferably carried out during the course. It may be carried by during the course of the day tomorrow, by 5 p.m. tomorrow. Once the above exercise is completed, the original shall be returned to Mr. Amit Sharma, then counsel appearing on behalf of the ECI. ECI shall then upload the data on its website within a period of on or before, day after.
A copy of the digitized may also be given, so it will not take time.
A copy of the, yes, fair enough. A copy of the scanned and digitized files shall also be made available to Mr. Amit Sharma so as to obviate the replication of the process of scanning and digitization. So now we'll pass another order. We'll say,
Would your lordships consider issuing notice to SBI? They may have something to say.
why do we have to, they should be here when the matter is going on. If they're not
I'm
here, why-
sorry, my lord. Please. Look, they filed an application which is disposed of. They are not parties.
But really speaking, we can take exception to what they have disclosed because they were duty bound.
I'm not appearing for SBI.
The way
But
The court can pass an order.
Your lordships may hear. I'm not here, my lord, for political.
Correct.
What is the operative direction in clause?
My lord, may I mention, my lord?
Here it is. It says SBI shall submit details of the electoral bonds purchased since the model of the court dated 12th February till date to the ECI. The details shall include the date of the purchase of each electoral bond, the name of the purchaser of the bond, and the denomination of the electoral bond purchase. Shall include, doesn't mean it will exclude. SBI.
Your lordship's order
Hold on.
is clear. What your lordships meant, my lord.
Allow me, sir. Allow me. SBI shall submit the details of political parties which have received contributions to electoral bonds since the interim order of the court dated 12th April till the date of the ECI. SBI must disclose details of each electoral bond, details encashed by political parties, which shall include the date of the encashment and the denomination of the bond. So this is an inclusive order. It shall include all details.
Lord, so would your lordships see? BNC. BNC.
And your lordship had said
Your
that the
lordships,
reason,
B and C of your lordship's original. I'm not appearing, I'm assisting. I feel, my lord, SBI needs to be.
The order of this court, the judgment of the Constitution bench required SBI to furnish to the ECI all details of the electoral bonds purchased and as the case may be purchased or as the case may be redeemed by political parties, including the date of purchase. What are the other?
yes,
Date of
Your
purchase,
lordships.
Name of
B and C
purchase.
for my satisfaction.
name of purchase which have received,
and the
and the
denomination.
denomination. Date of purchase, name of
the name of
purchaser
the
and
purchaser.
denomination.
And the date of purchase / redemption. Full stop. It has been pointed out, it has been submitted that SBI has not disclosed the electoral bond
Number.
the electoral bond number. What is it called? Is it called the unique identification number or is it called the
It's called the unique alphanumeric number on each bond.
The alphanumeric number of the electoral bonds. Full stop. The Solicitor General submits that since he is not appearing for the SBI, a notice may be issued to SBI. Full stop. We direct the registry to issue notice to SBI, returnable on Monday.
Well,
Keep it on Monday.
keep your plans.
Would like to.
A copy.
My lord, may I mention, my lord?
Mr. Agarwal, just a moment. Don't interfere.
Ji.
A copy of this order shall be forwarded by the Registrar Judicial on the Standing Counsel appearing for SBI.
May I request, my lord, one thing?
Or Mr. Kapoor.
Sanjay Kapoor.
Lord, may I request, your lordships are keeping this on Monday. We are guests among us. This mentioning can wait, my lord, till Monday. I hope, my lord, I can convey myself.
There we agree with us. There is something to be said for what the solicitor said.
Lord,
Mr. Agarwal, would you like to mention this on
Yeah,
Monday?
my lord, I sent yesterday one request to Honorable Lordship for sumoto.
Credit us with reading our files and correspondence both. Would you like to mention this on Monday, Mr. Agarwal?
Whatever,
I would request
that
him to
Lordship
mention
is
on
fully
Monday.
aware.
all of us will request him.
Yes, madam. We join.
Or Lordship may
But we
permit
are
me to
at
file
item on this,
proper
Lord.
application. But I was not a party, my lord.
Please respect the sentiments of your colleagues.
All of us are jointly requesting you to mention on Monday.
Keep your guys.
Great.
Great.
Obliged.
301.
May it please, my lord.
Yes,
My lord, I appear for the State Bank.
yes.
And my lord, we need a little more time to comply with your lordship's order. If your lordship is pleased to turn to page 76 of my application, my lord. Your lordship will find the operative order set out
That will be, yes, that's right.
para 221,
Right.
where my lords had said that in view of the discussion, the following directions are issued. The issuing bank shall herewith stop issuance of electoral bonds. Well, that's been done. State Bank of India shall submit details of electoral bonds purchased since the interim order of the court of 12th April 2019 till date to the ECI. The details shall include the date of purchase of each electoral bond. That is no problem. The name of the purchaser of the bond and the denomination of the electoral bond purchased. The SBI shall submit details of political parties which have received contribution through the electoral bonds since the interim order of the court of 12th April till the date to the ECI. That should be no problem. SBI must disclose details of each electoral bond encashed by the political parties, which will include date of encashment and denomination of encashment of each bond. The only problem which we are now trying to collate the information and create is because we are having to actually reverse a whole process. The standard operating process we had put in made sure that there was no connection between the name of the purchaser in our core banking system and the bond number. Because we as the bank were told that this is supposed to be secret. Now, if a handful of people also within the bank had access to this is the kind of information which would have leaked. So,
Mr. Salve,
yes.
if you see your application,
Yes,
if we start at para 10, paras 10 to 14 of your application are the key to your application.
Lordship, please.
What you say in para 10 is that it is submitted that donor details were kept. I'm sorry, I just give me a moment. You have it? That's application. The MA.
IA 57604.
It is submitted that donor details.
Yes, my lord.
Just one. It is submitted that donor details were kept in a sealed cover at the designated branch, and all such sealed covers were deposited in the main branch of the applicant bank, which is located in Mumbai.
Yes, my lord.
On the other end, each political party was required to maintain a designated account in any of the 29 authorized branches. It was only in this account that electoral bonds received by that party could be deposited and redeemed. At the time of redemption, the original bond, the pay-in slip, would be stored in a sealed cover and sent to the SBI Mumbai main branch. So what you are saying is that donor details were all sent to the SBI main branch. Redemption details were all sent to the the same branch, the SBI Central Main Branch in Mumbai.
Yes.
Now 12. It can thus be noted that both sets of information were being stored independently of each other. Thus, to rematch them would be a task requiring significant amount of effort. In order to make available donor information, the date of issue of each bond will have to be checked and matched against the date of purchase by a particular donor. This exercise would only deal with the first silo of information. These bonds were redeemed by political parties in their designated bank accounts. Accordingly, this information would then have to be matched against the bond redemption information that makes up the second silo. It is submitted that the retrieval of information from each silo and the procedure of matching the information of one silo to the other would be a time-consuming exercise. The details are stored separately. Some of the details, such as bonds number, are stored digitally, while the other sets of details, such as name of purchaser, KYC, are stored physically. The purpose of not storing all details digitally was to ensure that it cannot be gathered easily to achieve the object of the scheme. And then finally, para 14. In that regard, it is further submitted that this court has directed for making public the donor information from the date of its interim order, 12th April 19, to the date of the judgment. In that time, 22,217 electoral bonds were used for making donations to various political parties. Redeemed bonds were deposited to Mumbai main branch by the authorized branches at the end of each phase in sealed envelopes. Coupled with the fact that two different information silos existed, this would mean that a total of 44,434 information set would have to be decoded, compiled, and compared. Now, if you see the directions which we have issued at page 76,
My lord.
we have not told you to do the matching exercise. We have asked you for a plain disclosure. Therefore, the ground on which you seek an extension of time to make the disclosure does not accord with the directions in the judgment at all. The judgment doesn't tell you to do that.
No, my lord, I'll tell my lord what we understand. If that is not so, then of course there is no problem. If your lordship is pleased to turn to para 221.
But then you simply comply with the judgment.
No, please turn to para 221. Your lordship's judgment?
Page 76, right?
76, yes. SBI shall submit details of electoral bonds purchased since the interim order of the court. Well, no problem. No problem. The details shall include the date of purchase of each electoral bond, the name of the purchaser of the bond, and the denomination of the electoral bond purchase. Now, my lord, when the purchases were happening, we divided the information. The name is kept at one place and the purchase is recorded at another place.
But ultimately, everything was sent to the Mumbai Central Main Branch. All issuing branches, for the political parties, there are only 24. Actually, there are 4. But insofar as the purchasers are concerned, everything has been remitted back to the Mumbai Central Main Branch.
Except, I'm sorry, my lord, your lordship is right. It is not kept at one place because